What's going on, everybody? Good Sunday morning. Welcome back to LTL Podcast. I want to welcome everybody into the live show. We're going to do our variety show. I haven't done one of these in a while with our true crime updates across America. I try to keep these shows short and sweet to about an hour so it's easier on the replay. If you're first time over here, please make sure to subscribe, like, and share. We'll get this going here in a minute. I want to welcome all my subscribers into the room, all my members, and all my moderators. Good to see everybody. And we're just going to kick this off really quick with Jeff Lane. He has upvoted with a $4. Thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate you so much. Nice to see some returning names here. Nice to see my mods here this morning. And I'm not going to waste too much time because we like to get into the show and get these under an hour. Okay, so let's hit the music. I haven't done this in a while. Let's hit it. Let's hit it. Let's hit it. Let's hit it and get into the first story of today. All right, to our first story, we're going to talk about Tupac Shakur. A grand jury has indicted Dwayne Keefe D. Davis on charges of murder and use of a deadly weapon in connection with the 1996 killing of rapper Tupac Shakur in Las Vegas, authorities announced. Davis, 60, was arrested Friday morning in Las Vegas, according to authorities. His wife, Henderson, was home, was searched in July. And I talked about that. I remember doing a stream about this, hearing that there was some investigation going on in July. So that search did lead to something here in the arrest of Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. I'm tongue-tied this morning. I'm tongue-tied. In part of ongoing investigation into the shooting. So let's get to the video. We'll play that here and let's see what happened.
I'm the homicide lieutenant with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. And my goal here today is to walk you through our investigation and what led us to the indictment of Dwayne Davis, also known as Keefe D, for the murder of Tupac Shakur. This case has been reviewed by our homicide team and homicide detectives for over 2.5 decades. And ultimately, our persistence in this investigation has paid off. Let me walk you through a timeline of events that as we know them right now. Prior to September 7th of 1996, as we all know, Tupac Shakur was an artist who was signed with Death Row Records. And that Death Row Records and its CEO, Marion Suge Knight, were closely affiliated with the Mob Piru criminal street gangs, and that they had an ongoing feud with the Southside Compton Crips. Dwayne Davis was the leader and shot caller of the Southside Compton Crips. And both of these gangs operated out of the Southern California area of Compton. On the night of September 7th of 1996, Tupac Shakur, along with Suge Knight and members of their entourage, which include members of Mob Piru, came to Vegas to attend the Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Members of the Southside Compton Crips, which included Dwayne Davis, along with his nephew, Orlando Anderson, were also in attendance at the same event. As both were leaving the fight, members of Death Row Records spotted Orlando Anderson near an elevator bank inside the MGM. And at that time, they began to kick and punch him near that elevator bank. I will now show you hotel security footage, as many of you have already seen, related to this incident. And on this incident, you will see Tupac Shakur, who's wearing a shiny satiny shirt, along with Marion Suge Knight, who's a large man in a brown suit, punching and kicking Orlando Anderson.
I remember seeing this video. Played out when Tupac was killed, and I remember watching this video. And it's amazing. You know, this is video from 27 years ago, and we're seeing video from 27 years ago on the night of that Mike Tyson fight. Incredible.
Following this incident, you'll see hotel security intervene, and then they will leave the area of the fight. Little did anyone know that it is this incident right here that would ultimately lead to the retaliatory shooting and death of Tupac Shakur. Following this incident, Tupac and Suge Knight both left the MGM to make their way to a post-fight party, which was to occur at a local nightclub.
And what is the chances, you know, it's just so crazy in all of this stuff. What is the chances that this literally would be the last photo taken alive of Tupac Shakur and became so infamous, you know, through all of this? And it's a really good feeling to know that they finally have someone arrested. If Tupac's family is still alive, they can finally now know that his body will rest in peace. And such an influential person and rapper at that time, at our time in our culture. And obviously, you know, someone that just will never be forgotten, made a very quick impact in rap music. And, you know, controversial, of course, inspirational, yes. But someone that probably, you know, would have been with those pillars of that community, you know, still alive today if this didn't happen. You know, Snoop, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Eminem, you know, would be alongside all of those. Biggie, if it didn't happen to Biggie as well too. And you know, it's a good feeling to know that this case is finally solved. Someone's going has charges against them. You know, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, and hopefully there'll be justice served in this case. But they feel that they have enough evidence in this to convict. So all good stuff. All good stuff. We'll keep playing through this video.
At the same time, word had spread amongst members of the Southside Compton Crips of what had occurred inside the MGM. And then that's when Dwayne Davis began to devise a plan to obtain a firearm.
See, here's the thing, Angelo. You're going to have to understand here. It's a live show. I interact with the audience here. I will pause the videos to talk through them so I don't get nailed in the algorithm, so I don't get demonetized. If you don't like it, then I would just say, hit the exit button, unsubscribe. This is a live show. We interact. I talk with my chat here. That's just the way it is. That's the way the rules are here in LTL. I respond to my audience. I give them clear insight as to what I'm thinking about on the subject. That's why people come here, and that's why people get involved with LTL. So this might not be the live show for you. So,
and retaliate against Suge Knight and Mr. Shakur for what occurred inside the hotel against Mr. Anderson. After Davis obtained a gun, he entered into a white Cadillac along with Terrence Brown, DeAndre Smith, and Orlando Anderson. Based on our investigation, this is where we know they were seated. At some point in time, as they were in the white Cadillac, Mr. Davis took the gun that he had obtained and provided it to the passengers in the rear seat of the vehicle. As they were driving west on Flamingo Road near Koval, they located the black BMW, which was driven by Suge Knight, and in the passenger seat was Tupac Shakur. And as they turned around, they pulled up near the passenger side of that vehicle and immediately began shooting at Mr. Knight and Mr. Shakur. Following that shooting, the white Cadillac fled the area southbound on Koval. And after our officers arrived on scene, Tupac was later transported to the University Medical Center, where he was treated medically and died approximately 6 days later on September 13th. My homicide section handled this investigation from its onset and for a short amount of time. And within a short amount of time, what we knew was that we were working a gang investigation where our victims, our witnesses, and our suspects were all from Southern California and not local to Las Vegas. Within the first few months of the investigation, our detectives knew most of the information I just briefed you on. However, we never had the necessary evidence to bring this case forward and present it for criminal charges. As time went on, this case had been reviewed multiple times by different investigators assigned to my section, but it wasn't until 2018 that this case was reinvigorated as additional information came to light related to this homicide. Specifically, Dwayne Davis's own admissions to his involvement in this homicide investigation that he provided to numerous different media outlets. In our section, we knew at this time that this was likely our last time to take a run at this case to successfully solve this case and bring forth a criminal charge. It was at that time that this case was assigned to Cliff Mogg, a detective within my homicide section. And over the last 5 years, my section worked closely hand in hand with the Clark County District Attorney's Office and followed a systematic investigative plan over the last 5 years. We've conducted countless interviews and corroborated numerous facts that were not only consistent with the crime scene on the night of the incident, but also corroborated and were consistent with the sequence of events that night. This ultimately led to us procuring a search warrant, which was executed at Mr. Davis's residence in Henderson, Nevada. And following the execution of that search warrant, in close coordination with the District Attorney's Office, this case was presented to the grand jury, which ultimately led to Davis being indicted on charges of murder.
An arrest and indictment in the murder of legendary rapper Tupac Shakur. Really, investigators, they're going into stunning detail about how his murder was a retaliatory killing, that an investigation in which they knew soon after the murder of Tupac around September of 1996, the details of, but a case that went cold until 2018, and now one that is headed potentially for a conviction.
They showed this surveillance video and they said this is a moment, this altercation that ultimately led to that moment on September 7th, 1996 on the Las Vegas Strip, where someone pulled up multiple people in a white Cadillac, they believe, and shot into the passenger side of Tupac Shakur's vehicle, ultimately killing him. Days later, he died in a hospital. But I think people are in disbelief today. Fans of his music, people who knew him, his family as well, they've carried this hurt for so long. And now knowing that police have arrested someone, also they said there were 3 other suspects, but all of them are deceased.
Yeah, and the arrest they made, you're looking at the mugshot there on your screen. Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, a 60-year-old man who they describe, investigators, as the head of a rival gang that had issues with Tupac and his cohort. Let's discuss these latest details with CNN's Josh Campbell, and also with us, CNN legal analyst Joey Jackson. Josh, first to you. There was a lot of detail in what we just heard from investigators there, going over all the evidence that they collected.
Absolutely. And, this is where the timeline of this murder comes into play here. So important. We know that after Tupac Shakur left a boxing match, it was a white Cadillac that pulled up alongside his vehicle. Shakur was in the car with Suge Knight whenever those shots rang out. Now, interestingly enough, Dwayne Davis, the suspect who has now been charged here, indicted in Nevada, he gave public statements. This is something that the officer alluded to there shortly, saying some of his own comments are being used here now as evidence, particularly if you look back, for example, in 1998. Davis gave an interview to BET saying he was inside that other car. He said he was in the front seat. He claimed that the shots actually rang out from the back seat. He refused to publicly name who else might be in that car, saying that that's the code of the street, that he didn't want to, run amiss, I guess, of any of his cohorts there in the gang. But there was this question about, okay, so you're there. What other role did you have? Interestingly, we also just heard, as the prosecutor talked about the law here as it applies, he said, you don't don't have to actually be the person to pull the trigger in order to be charged with murder in the state of Nevada. So we start to see these elements start to shape up. If he was in the vehicle as he claimed, and that actually plays into the law that you don't have to pull the trigger to also be charged with murder, police believe that he was, as they described, the shot caller here, the person who devised this plan to retaliate against Shakur and ultimately lead to this murder, guys.
Wow. Really, really stunning. I mean, just all these years, 27 years after, finally, Tupac will hopefully get some justice. All right, let's take down to New Mexico. Teen allegedly shot 13-year-old girl with her dad's gun. From the Law and Crime Network, in a disturbing incident in New Mexico on July 28th, a 14-year-old named Porfirio Brown allegedly shot 13-year-old Amber Archachula with her father's gun. Initially, Brown attempted to deceive authorities by falsely claiming that Amber had been killed in a drive-by shooting. However, body cam footage revealed the shocking details surrounding the incident. Brown was subsequently arrested and charged with murder in connection with Amber's death. Furthermore, her father, 39-year-old William Brown, was also charged in connection to this tragic shooting. And the reason being, and you will see this, there has been a recent law changed in New Mexico that if a firearm is not secured in a home and you are the owner or you are the parent of that where that firearm is, you will be charged. You will be charged because it was not secure. So let's get to the video here from the Law and Crime Network and see what played out in that scene. Here we go.
Move it. And that's when you just hear the loud bang and a little bit of light. And then she drops. And next thing you know, she just starts to bleed.
Okay.
Shocking moments we're seeing for the very first time after a 13-year-old New Mexico girl is shot and killed at the hands of a 14-year-old boy.
And he was never mad about anything?
Mm-mm. Everyone was laughing, having a good time.
Everybody was just having a good time? Okay. Do you feel like he meant to do this?
I don't know, because if I think about it, he didn't seem mad or anything, but then why would he have his finger on the trigger and just do that? So I don't really know.
The boy's father now also charged in the girl's death, as law enforcement allege his son easily accessed the murder weapon from his father's gun collection.
There's a lot of guns in that house, right? And none of them are secured?
Most of them are secured. I have a few that are out.
You have a few that are out. Okay, with that right there, have your hands, put your hand on your back.
The newly released body camera video also shows the heartbreaking reaction of the girl's father when he learns for the first time his daughter was murdered.
EMS just pronounced her deceased.
Oh my God, man.
Body camera footage from July 28th shows first responders arrive at the scene in Cuesta, New Mexico, about 2 hours north of Santa Fe.
Were you here?
You said you do have a full
Scout.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome into the live variety show here on Sunday. If you're just new to this series, what we do here is true crime updates across America. I try to keep these shows down to an hour. Haven't done one in quite a while. And I'll touch on about 3 or 4 cases just really quickly, just to give everybody some updates to maybe some cases that are not, sprung into our mainstream media, some cases that do need some eyes on it, and just to see, what's going on out there in and around America. We'll continue here with the Law and Crime. She
still has a pulse, bud.
There, officials find 13-year-old Amber Archuleta shot and injured. Video captures her brother frantic, asking whether she's still alive.
I'm going to have to ask you, bro. What you're doing right now is not helping. I'm going to need you to either go sit down over here or just give us a second, okay? You don't need to be upset.
My sister.
I understand it's your sister. I understand, but what you're doing right now is I understand, but what you're doing right now is not helping. Okay, I'm not trying to be an asshole to you.
You are.
I'm not trying to be an asshole to you. I'm trying to help you, buddy.
Yeah, you are.
Okay? What you're doing right now isn't helping. Please just go over there with them.
All you guys doing is fun to call, so I could do much.
Well, here's the thing, dude. The medics are on the way. All we can try to do is keep her alive while the medics are here. She has a pulse.
How good?
So it's pretty good. So can you please just go over there and let us do our job? please. It's okay. It's okay, bud. I understand you're upset. I totally get it. Okay, we're gonna need you to back up, please.
No,
Guys.
No.
Being here is not gonna help.
No.
Believe me. Let us do our
my
job.
sister.
Let us do our
It's my
job.
sister.
Travis knows exactly
my
what he's
sister.
doing. Travis knows exactly
It's
what
my
he's doing.
sister.
I understand.
Is she alive?
The closer you are,
Does she?
the
So,
closer.
hold on.
Yes.
Does she have a pulse?
She has a pulse.
Right
okay?
now.
Yes.
Right
she
now.
has a pulse.
Right now.
I just need to step back for a second. I understand it's your sister. I understand you love her. We're gonna do everything we possibly can to help her. Okay. I promise you that. Okay. It's okay. It's okay.
go.
I understand you're mad.
go.
I understand you're
Let
mad,
go.
bro. I'd be mad too.
Let go.
Buddy, I'm gonna need you to step back because
Let go.
they're working on her. Let them work
Okay,
on
I
her.
won't
Okay.
touch. I'll just
Stop yelling at him.
come close.
Stop freaking out. Just let us do our job. Okay.
At first, the scene is chaotic when first responders work to save Archuleta's life while asking what led up to the shooting.
In reference to a gunshot wound to a 13-year-old female. We do have a 55 rolling from Red River. If you can proceed that way, do have law enforcement on scene. South Central, list here 16, flag. We got your page, we'll put a crew together. You're 16, Latier 48. 16, go.
What? I don't know, dude. I don't know right now. So tell me what happened.
That'll be
Somebody needs to tell me what happened. We don't remember.
I'm out of it right now.
Does somebody pass by?
16, go. Say that.
Okay, who else is here? Is it just you guys?
Want to check the pulse?
I just did. It was there.
Where is she shot?
That's what I'm trying to
Maybe
find.
the front of the face. I don't know. Somewhere.
At first, officers hear the girl was on the street in front of the home when she was injured in a drive-by shooting.
Walking while she got shot. Can you show me on the street where it was?
Supposedly, it's a drive-by that happened near the road.
Based on that information, officers begin searching the street area for evidence.
I'm looking for a casing too down there. I'm not seeing anything yet. They said it happened down here on the street. And that's where I'm looking. Hey Siri. Okay, Google. Call Chief.
Sure, call in chief.
I'm not sure if it was down here. He said it seemed like they carried her up here, but this was closed. So I'm guessing they carried her through here.
2393. 16, go.
Yeah, I'll try that next.
Minutes later, Archuleta is pronounced dead, and the area becomes the scene of a murder.
We called it. Okay. So we're gonna shut it down, clear the scene.
Your copy is down, great.
Let's get some tape and
Start taping everything off.
tape everything off. Put the unit in the road. I want to block off whatever we can.
At this point, first responders hear an initial story that Archuleta's brother arrived at the home saying his sister had been shot.
Was she inside?
We drove her in here to get tissues.
From the front door?
Huh?
From the front door? Okay.
But she didn't get no blood because I grabbed the carpet and we kind of like wrapped her in it.
Okay. Who are you on the phone with?
My mom.
Can you show me where you got her from, please?
The road?
Yeah. Like where?
I have to wait to my dad.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out where she was at so I can secure the scene in that area.
It's right there by that dumpster. You know, by the red house.
Wait. Oh, down the road further?
Like just right there by that red house.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
So you carried her all the way over here?
Well, my friend came knocking on the door and said someone shot her.
No, this became a murder investigation. So essentially what happened, I'll read the headline again if you want me to read it, just to refresh if you're just coming into the room. Okay, this is from out of New Mexico. New Mexico teen allegedly shot 13-year-old girl with dad's gun. This is from the Law and Crime Network. In a disturbing incident in New Mexico on July 28th, a 14-year-old named Perfilo Brown allegedly shot 13-year-old Amber Archuleta with her father's gun. Initially, Brown attempted to deceive authorities by falsely claiming that Achula had been killed in a drive-by shooting. However, body cam footage revealed the shocking details surrounding the incident. Brown has subsequently been arrested and charged with murder in connection with Achula's death. Furthermore, because of a new law change in New Mexico, his father, 39-year-old William Brown, was also charged in connection with the tragic shooting. That's because the gun was not secured in the home. And that is a new law. And you're going to hear about that at the end of this.
But as law enforcement begins speaking with witnesses, a different story comes to light.
We were all chilling, having a good old time, and we just went to his backyard and we're done messing with his goats and shit. And we ended up going to the front, and we ended up going back into his house. And then next thing you know, he pulls out, I think it's a revolver, the one that has a spinning barrel.
Okay.
He pulls out one of those.
It was a handgun?
Yeah.
Okay, who does?
The girl tells law enforcement a group of friends was inside the home of 14-year-old Porfirio Brown when the boy pulled out a handgun. After that, he pointed it at Archuletta's face.
And then he ends up pointing it at her, and she went to go.
Give me 1 second, okay? Pulled out a 22. Was it a 22? What kind of revolver do you know?
I don't know my
You just know that it was a revolver handgun, right?
Yeah, I know it's one of those.
Got you. Okay.
And he points it at her, and she went to go like take it away from her face, right? All of a sudden, you just hear a boom. I look, and I see her fall to the ground. Next thing you know, she starts to bleed.
So he shot her in the face with the handgun?
Yeah, I think so.
Where were you guys when he shot her with the handgun?
I think the kitchen.
You guys were inside the house when it happened?
Yeah.
The girl describes to officers on the scene what happened as the gun went off.
And he points it at her, and so she went to go move it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you just hear the loud bang and a little bit of a light.
Mm-hmm.
And then she drops. And next thing you know, she just starts to bleed.
Okay.
Multiple witnesses later tell investigators it was Brown's idea to come up with a drive-by shooting scenario.
At what point did somebody start cleaning up blood?
I think I really didn't see him do it all that much, but
May I say something? Is it okay if I speak to him? Mm-hmm. Tell him what he wanted you to help him do. He asked you to help him carry you to the roadside.
That's very true. When I forgot about that, but when he was over there, when he said he was gonna kill himself, he kept asking me if to get her to the road, to say somebody drove by and shot her, a drive-by.
There was a story of a vehicle driving by.
Oh, yeah, he made that story up whenever he shot her and took her outside.
What did he tell you about that?
He tried to make up the story that the drive-by happened right next to that dumpster in front of his on the road. Tried to say a drive-by happened right there, and that her brother went to his house freaking out about it, and they ended up dragging her over there. But
just minutes after she's shot and killed, officers on the scene break the news to Archuletta's father.
Hi, sir. I understand, sir. Can you talk to me for just a couple minutes?
All right, this is gonna get rough for everybody. It's if you need to step away for a moment, this is gonna be a rough one. All right, let's watch this. This is the dad of the girl that got shot. Just give me 2 seconds. I need to take care of something. Okay.
The EMS just pronounced her deceased.
Oh my God, man.
So,
She's gone.
Ugh.
She's gone. Can I please go see?
yes, sir. I'll have one of my guys meet you. I'm trying to stay out here to block this off.
I'm fine.
404, 406. You have the father walking in now. He's got carpenter knee pads on, a blue t-shirt and a baseball cap. I'm sorry, sir. My condolences.
Thank you.
I'm honestly, I'm going to do my damnedest to figure out what happened. I'm sorry.
I don't know, but my son called me. Oh my God, I know I can't do.
At that point, additional officers begin to secure the area, going inside Brown's home. They're met by his father, William Brown.
You didn't find any blood anywhere else?
No, I was out there looking for a casing, looking for blood. The only thing I found are like footprints and stuff like that. And is that yours?
Yeah, that's mine.
Oh, what the? I can't find anything. All right, I'll go hang out outside and let you do your thing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna change because we have a sheet and stuff out. That's why we had the gates closed. So we gotta lock up everything.
Fair enough.
So they don't go take off on us.
All right, I know it sucks, but just don't clean that for me. I'm having state police come, so we're gonna do the whole 9 yards. Just so you know.
Okay.
Officers then collect evidence from the home. Later, a first responder can be heard telling Porfirio not to return in the home, but saying he trusts the boy won't touch a gun.
I just can't have you inside the house with the firearms and stuff, okay? I know you're not gonna do anything, but
Eventually, the boy's father says they've retained an attorney and will not discuss the case.
Porfirio, it's Officer Mata with State Police, bro. Come on out. Come on out, man.
He's not talking to nobody.
We're gonna sit over here, bro.
He's not sitting over here.
Oh, it's your boy?
Yeah, it's my boy. We talked to an attorney. Any question, anything can be done.
Okay, we're just trying to make sure. Is this the scene where it happened?
it is
Well,
now.
the body's in the back. There's no scene. There's nothing in
Okay,
here.
I need you guys to step on out.
Brown, come
We
on.
can't. No.
I need you guys to step on out.
We have a warrant.
There's gonna be a warrant. We
Well,
have detectives on the way. We need you guys to step on out now.
We've tried cooperating. These guys have already let people go that were here.
So what's the issue?
There's an issue because why are we supposed to sit here?
You live here?
Yeah, I live here. This is my home.
Okay. Are there any neighbors that we can talk to?
There's
So
neighbors
where
there.
you can hang out?
No. There's not.
What's your name, bro?
William Brown. There's not any neighbors we can hang out. What are we supposed to do?
Huh?
What are we supposed to do?
Well, step on out.
No.
We have detectives on the way. They're going to interview you.
No, they're
Okay?
not.
This is
An attorney is going to be present.
You can call your attorney to come on down. We'll talk
We're
to
not
you.
talking. They said you guys can wait to schedule. You guys can call LMIS's office.
Okay, that's fine. We'll have him come down if he wants to talk to us. Now we're not going to be calling
But we're
anybody.
not going to be.
We have investigations to do, man.
Well, we're
We
not
got to
gonna be
find out
talking
what's
nobody.
going on.
These guys have already let people go that were involved.
Okay, probably because they already have their contact information, dude. We're stepping in, and we have our detectives from state police coming over.
And?
Later, when asked if he'll give a statement, William Brown says he wasn't home, but gives police the same story about a drive-by shooting.
As far as you, would you be okay to give us a statement?
I wasn't even home.
Okay, so you just got here just now, or did you just get here after the incident?
Yeah. I was at work when my son called me about it happening.
Did your son tell you anything like that?
He just said that there was a girl that was shot and he didn't know what to do.
Did he say who shot the girl?
You can't go, Ashley, you can't go there.
Did he say who shot the girl?
He said a black SUV.
Eventually, though, law enforcement determined a drive-by shooting didn't
Never
happen
happened.
and that 14-year-old Porfirio was involved.
Yep.
Where are you taking him?
To a unit.
What unit? Well, did you bring the unit to the house?
No, we're walking down the main street.
For what? For what?
That's all I have to tell you. He's being detained. I think it's pretty obvious he's being detained.
Well, but what? He didn't do nothing.
Listen, he's being detained. I didn't say he's being arrested. He's being detained with us. That's it. That's going to be in the end of it, okay?
He's not leaving the road. He's just going to sit in the
You guys can't bring him to the house, the unit to the house?
because it's a crime scene. I can't let anyone in.
So that's the other thing. How long is this going to take?
As long as it takes.
I
can't give you an answer because
No, I know, but how long is this going to take? Because, we
It can
don't have
take
a
anywhere
place to
from
go.
12 to 24 hours.
I just got to hold on to you, okay?
We don't have another place to go.
Yeah, better.
I mean, you appreciate that there's a dead girl.
You know, I'm really shocked by the dad's reaction here. You know, he's just worried about being able to be in his house. There's a dead girl right now that died outside of his house. And This guy has no lack of compassion. I mean, he has lack of compassion. He has no compassion in his heart. He's worried about how long this is going to take, how long he's going to be able to go back into, how long until he can go back into his house. Just real POS in my opinion.
On your porch, right?
Yeah.
I don't have an option either. So you know where to go, but I don't have an option.
After that, Porfirio is taken into custody.
Before I speak to you, I'm only going to ask you two things, but before I speak to you, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do, and it will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one can be provided to you at no cost. You also have the right to have your parent present during questioning. You understand your rights? Okay.
Squad car audio captures a conversation the boy has after he's arrested.
Are you okay? Okay? I love you. Okay?
They ain't got nothing on me. I ain't worried.
Barb,
They ain't got nothing on me. I ain't do nothing.
it's okay. Just keep your mouth quiet. We have a lawyer. It's gonna be okay, but you're gonna have to drink something.
I can't. Bro, my wrists are all getting cut into.
Settle down. You have to settle down. You have to be calm right now, okay?
My wrists are getting cut into.
It's okay.
Why do I have a feeling, I'm just going to go out on a limb here that I don't think this is the first time, and I could be wrong in this, allegedly. I don't think this is the first time that they've had run-in with the law. What do you all feel? Do you all feel that? Feel it could be a possibility that there's this, maybe this boy has been in trouble before, maybe not in severe criminal stuff, but maybe, minor stuff. And I just feel like the parents may be involved in some stuff as well too. Very resistant, very, very, very resistant, in my opinion.
Barb, I know you're arrested. I can't do anything about that.
At first, officials say William Brown did nothing wrong except get physical with police.
No, not square up with him.
Stop.
There you go, right there.
Well, he said my attitude sucks.
Well, no, but what do you expect? You have a dead girl and you not understand the severity of this?
I do.
Sure. Go that way.
I've been trying to cooperate with the cops.
Hold on.
Well, they're taking him. He said I could walk with you guys.
You need to calm down.
I am, but your officer, I wasn't even talking to them.
And I just told him to leave so he didn't aggravate you anymore. But you can't keep doing this because then I'll put you in cuffs. But I don't want to do that. You've done nothing wrong.
But eventually,
being very
William
reasonable.
Brown is also taken into custody.
We've got information about what all took place, and as far as the black SUV, it's not. That's not panning out. Okay, does that make sense?
If you're saying I can't tell you because I was at work.
Okay, and I get that, but another thing
it's a shocking
you need
moment
to understand is there's a lot of guns in that house, right? Mm-hmm. And none of them are secured.
Most of them are secured. I have a few that are out.
You have a few that are out. Okay, with that right there, have your hands, put your hand on your back.
I don't understand. Can you just explain it to me?
So
there's an exchange for the step 30.
Well, Lana, I would just say to rewind the stream. I've stopped it twice and recap because people are coming in late. So the best thing to do is just rewind it and watch from the beginning. I want to really move on, and we're kind of slowing this down. I try to keep these smaller shows under an hour because it's better on replay. So I would just urge you probably at this point just to rewind it and watch because I need to move on to the next case after. Okay, I'm gonna rewind here just a little bit so people understand, so they can hear the context of what's happening.
Saying I can't tell you because I was at work.
okay, and I get that, but another thing that you need to understand is there's a lot of guns in that house, right? Mm-hmm. And none of them are secured.
Most of them are secured. I have a few that are out.
You have a few that are out. Okay, with that right there, have your hands, put your hand on your back.
I don't understand. Can you just explain it to me?
So there's an exchange for the step 30. That 30, there's 4. Who wants making a firearm accessible to a minor? Resulting in great bodily injury. So she's like, yes. So we have enough.
That makes the case groundbreaking in New Mexico, as William Brown becomes the first person to be charged under the so-called Benny's Law. The bill that was signed into law back in March allows a parent to be charged if they didn't properly store a firearm before their child uses the weapon to commit a crime. It's named after Benny Hargrove, an Albuquerque middle schooler who was shot and killed by a fellow student. The gunman allegedly used his father's gun to shoot the boy during recess. In later interviews, witnesses said Brown pulled out multiple weapons but didn't seem angry when he opened fire.
A second ago, you said you didn't know if he hid or did something with the guns.
Yeah.
Like multiple guns.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by multiple guns?
Because even at first, before everything happened, he even pulled out like an AK or it seemed like an AK. It looked like it. And then some sort of other gun. I don't know my guns, but it was like about, I would say maybe about this, maybe a little bit bigger. It was camouflage, and they were full rounds. Like the clip was full, but I don't know if there was one in the chamber. He ended up putting those away, and then that's when he pulls out
It's a good witness right there. That's a good witness right there.
revolver.
Porfirio Brown now faces multiple charges, including first-degree murder and tampering with evidence. He was booked into a juvenile detention center, but has since been released to live with his grandparents. His father, William Brown, is now charged with negligent making a firearm accessible to a minor, resulting in death.
Wow.
Reporting for Law and Crime Network, I'm Sierra Gillespie.
So how do you all feel? How do you feel about that law change? Do you feel that it's a good law change? Let me know there. Type a Y in the chat if you agree, an N in the chat if you don't agree. All right, we're going to go to the next story here. Staying down in the western part of the United States, we're going to go to Arizona. And this is finally a case that I call the Killer Coffee. Law and Crime Network reveals hidden camera footage allegedly showing an Arizona wife pouring bleach into her husband's coffee maker back in March of this year. Melody Feliciano Johnson, Airman's spouse, became suspicious when he started noticing his coffee tasted terrible over a period of weeks and set up a camera disguised as a smoke detector. Multiple videos show the husband testing the coffee pot water after Johnson poured something into the machine. Let's get that up and review the case here. Here we go. Law and Crime Network.
Guaranteed. You're going to see purple. Boom.
Look at the bleach.
Wow.
A military wife is now charged with attempted first-degree homicide after her husband allegedly caught her on camera pouring bleach into his coffee maker. He says it was all to get life insurance benefits.
Whatever's in there, there's a lot of it.
It all started in March 2023 when an unnamed United States Air Force airman was stationed in Germany. At the time, he lived with his wife, Melody Feliciano Johnson, and their child. The couple is now going through a divorce. According to court documents, he, quote, started noticing that his coffee was tasting bad. He continued to drink the coffee for the next 2 to 3 weeks and then ended up buying some pool chemical testing strips as the coffee continued to taste very bad to him.
What a smart guy to start taping. That's crazy. To start taping it, right? Look at the bleach.
In multiple videos, the husband uses chlorine strips to test the water in his coffee maker. Every time, the test strip returns results for high levels of chlorine.
This is why I don't drink coffee. This is why I don't drink coffee. Give me one more like. We'll get this to 50. I would appreciate it. Give that one more upvote if you haven't upvoted yet. I do live alone, but I don't drink coffee. This is why I would never drink coffee. Smash that like button, please. Look at the chlorine. Jeez, man. That's a lot of chlorine. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate that. Wow. That's a lot of bleach and chlorine.
According to a criminal complaint, the man, quote, suspected someone was tampering with his coffee, and in May 2023, while still in Germany, he set up a camera in his house. At that point, video captures Feliciano Johnson pouring something into his coffee pot.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Unreal. Thank you. Look at this. She's pouring bleach. That's bleach. That's straight up bleach. Look at that. Straight up bleach in the coffee pot. Unreal. Straight up. Look at this. How would you think that's right? Unbelievable.
Tonight's the night I caught her on video. So let's test this water. It's gonna be purple.
How scary is that? Look at this. I mean, to know that you're living with someone and God knows what she was doing before all of this. Maybe she was trying other things, and then she went to this extreme. Oh my God.
The man later told law enforcement he prepared his coffee every evening so that in the morning he just needed to turn it on to make his coffee. He alleged between the time he set up his coffee and the following morning, Feliciano Johnson tampered with the machine. Video seemingly captures this, showing Feliciano Johnson checking to see if the coffee maker has been prepared before grabbing something from under the sink and pouring it into the machine.
Wow. Multiple times. Multiple times.
Later, video shows her husband checking to see the coffee maker she'd tampered with.
Look at this guy. He's acting like nothing's going on. Wow. He's checking. I think he's checking the water again, right? Wow. If you're just coming in, please smash that like button. We had a lot of new viewers that just came in. Checking out true crime cases across America. This is the wife that allegedly tried to poison her husband with
The
bleach.
husband alleged his wife used bleach as a form of poison, storing the chemical under the sink. Court documents state that at the time, during May 2023, the husband, quote, stopped drinking the coffee but continued to pretend to drink it as he did not want to make a report of this while in Germany. He said he knew his wife would continue poisoning him and wanted to submit a report while in the U.S.
About 50
Ah.
while I was at work, I noticed her come over to the coffee maker and she did something. So I've got my tester.
So
I'm
guessing they're in Germany right now. Is that what I'm understanding? They're in Germany, and then he waited until he got back to make the report, but gathered evidence. That's what I'm understanding. Wow. Because probably the laws are a lot different there. He wanted to get her nailed in the US. Wow. This is insane. Insane stuff.
to add the water to see if there's chlorine and pH is off. Pretty certain it is because I saw the bleach bottle over here. I saw it being pulled out. That bottle was pulled out.
This poor guy.
Okay. There's this here. Test the water. You can smell it from here. I can smell it. Looks fine. Don't know if it'll actually do anything. If it'll change it since I've already put it in. Let's give it a shot here.
What? I mean, what the hell, man?
Let's see if it'll do anything. Look at that. Totally
Wow.
changed. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And then you can smell it. Like I can literally smell this. Fix this here. Yeah, I can literally smell this.
I just want to make sure for the record, here on LTL Podcast, we don't condone anybody drinking or consuming bleach. Obviously, it's very dangerous. I just have to say these things for the good old YouTube algorithm. But of course, you don't want to drink any type of chemical like this. Clearly stay away because it is cautious and it is harmful, very harmful. All right, let's keep playing on.
You can see it sudsed up. Soapy. I guarantee it's slick too on the fingers. Yeah, slippery.
And smash that like button when you come in. I really would appreciate it. Maybe we can get to 100 likes before the stream ends today.
1 month later, in late June, the family returned to the United States
Oh.
and was stationed at an Air Force
Here it
base in
comes.
Tucson, Arizona. At that point,
He's still doing it.
additional cameras were set up. Video captures
She's
Felicity
still doing
Johnson
it.
pour something into the coffee pot and look over her shoulder to see if anyone is watching. By early July, her husband reported his findings to the Tucson Police Department. Court documents state he, quote, showed the officers at the front desk the video, but since you could not clearly see what she was pouring into the coffee maker, the report was taken with no follow-up.
Come
At
on,
that
man.
point, he purchased additional cameras disguised as fire alarms. He set them up in the laundry room and in the kitchen
there you
area
go.
where the coffee maker was located.
So this morning I checked this coffee maker and the pH and chlorine.
She's been doing this for like ever. This poor guy stationed over, serving our country, stationed over in Germany, returns back to the US. She's continuously doing it. Tries to bring this forward to the police. They say they can't see anything, and then has to go through the trouble of installing smoke alarm detector cameras to catch this maniac that's been trying to poison him. Unbelievable.
Test came out normal. So I cleaned my coffee pot out after I made coffee, and it drained all day. So,
And my stream has been demonetized. Thank you, YouTube.
I'm going to do a test.
We will continue to fight. We will continue to fight for LTL Podcast. Believe me. You cannot shut us down. We will fight and show truth in the true crime community. Oh, I guarantee you they're going to say that this video is not proper because we're showing chemicals that are being consumed, all that. They don't like stuff like this. They don't like the truth being put out there. They don't like true crimers. Well, it's got to go to a manual review, and it could take whenever someone wants to look at it. The longest I've been is like 10 days. So essentially, when I get the clicks and views on that stream, I don't get anything out of doing this until it's monetized again. And then by then, you've already lost your majority of your clicks and views. So good stuff, YouTube, always. All right, let's keep playing. Oh yeah, they don't like us. So the only argument I could see here from a lawyer on her side, and again, I'm not siding with her. I think she's evil, but let's play devil's advocate. I think what a lawyer could say is, well, you're pouring water into a glass that you're not showing that's completely clean. How do we know that there wasn't, you weren't putting bleach residue inside that container that you're using to pour water in there? Again, I totally feel that she allegedly did this, but I'm just playing devil's advocate in this because I could see a lawyer probably arguing that.
Soapy.
Yeah, Rumble and True Crime gets no push. Rumble's a very more political platform. And it's a total mess to use. I've tried using it.
Feliciano Johnson was caught on camera multiple times, appearing to pour bleach in the laundry room, walking it into the next room, and then pouring it into the coffee maker. Other times, she was caught on camera looking over her shoulder as she
This is crazy.
seemingly poured the chemical into the machine.
How scary is that? See, that's what I would say is like the defense team, if she does end up getting arrested, the defense team would go, well, how do we know that there wasn't bleach residue in there and you were, using it to clean it, and you're pouring this water in? I could see that. But definitely she totally did this. I mean, totally did this. It's caught on camera. Okay, cool. That's what I wanted to see. He's testing that first. Good job. Good job. Excellent. Good job. Now he's going to go over and test the pop. Now he'll test the coffee pot, pouring that water in. That's what you needed to show, dude. Good job. Got it. I must have missed it. I'm sorry. I must have missed it. Like I said, sometimes I'm looking at multiple screens, so I'm trying to catch up. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out, Sharon. Thank you. Yeah, Rumble's terrible. Got it. Thank you. My bad. Good stuff. Look at that. Look at that. Jeez.
Over and over, Feliciano Johnson's husband captures this on camera, using chlorine strips to demonstrate the alleged poisoning.
Good job.
I haven't tested the water in a while.
This is nuts. We got 87 people in here. If you come in, smash that like button. Maybe we can get up to 100 likes before this stream ends. It does help push this stream out into the algorithm. We got a couple more minutes here, and I'm going to end this just over an hour today. Just over an hour. And then we will be back tonight for the Super Show at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be getting into our coverage of Karen Reed, a very, very important case that I need all eyes on this case.
You can smell it. Oh boy.
Jeez, man. Holy schmolies. Excuse me. Be right back.
You can tell by the video from there and from there that I have not messed with this coffee maker. I just arrived home about an hour ago, and I figured now I decided I'm going to test this to show that it's definitely tainted. So I'll test this water with this new strip, and then I'll use the same strip once I put it in the coffee maker. No big change.
Here he goes.
It stinks.
What I would have done is made a cup of coffee and go, here, honey, want a cup of coffee? And see if she drank it. That's how he should have tested her at the end of all this.
Several times he showcased the coffee maker, saying he could still smell the bleach.
Unbelievable.
Like I do every day, I clean this thing out after I test it. This back is very slippery right now from after I rinsed. It smells like bleach.
Jesus. What a monster.
Looks like the bleach has a new location. That purple lid is now over here. Let's see what this smells like.
It's like when people try to poison people with radiator cooling. Oh, geez. Oh, Todd. Todd says he has that coffee pot. You better check it, bro. You better check it.
Other times,
Yeah,
he displayed
Roseanne,
how the coffee
the cleanest
maker would become
coffee pot
soapy
in the country.
when water was added.
Oh my God, look at all this soap. The suds.
I've been rinsing it out at least 7-8 times. It's still very slippery, bubbly.
Oh my God.
She was off today. She didn't work. Today's the most that I'm having to clean it. Wow. Whatever's in there, there's a lot of it.
Oh my God, look at this.
After collecting multiple videos that showed her allegedly pouring the bleach into the machine, Feliciano Johnson was arrested.
Hey.
She was taken into custody and invoked her right to an attorney immediately,
Good
so
stuff.
she wasn't questioned by police. Citing familial ties to the Philippines, prosecutors alleged Feliciano Johnson could be a flight risk. She was later booked into jail on $250,000 bond. Reporting for Law and Crime Network, I'm Sierra Gillespie.
All right. And that was your... All right, everybody, that was your true crime updates across America. A little bit different here. Did a Sunday morning show here. Hope everybody enjoyed this episode of LTL Podcast. I like doing these. I like doing these kind of 3-segment shows where we break down about 20 minutes on each one And, it kind of moves the show along. We keep them under an hour. It's clear and concise. It's great information. Everybody comes in and, really gives us their opinion on these cases. So it's nice to highlight things out there that are not so much mainstream, but we get an idea of some cases that are happening across America as well. So I don't know what's going on today. A lot of my friends are out with their family, their kids and stuff. So I may come back later this afternoon and maybe whip up a stream, maybe. If not, I know indefinitely I'll be back here tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll drop the link for that. We're going to continue our coverage of Karen Reed, a very, very important case here in Massachusetts. I'll drop the link for that. Just go over and hit the remind me or join me button, and I'll see you later on. And maybe this afternoon, I might pop up and do something if there's something that I find that's worthy enough. I just want to pop in here really quick and just let Jeff Lane, thank you so much for your $4 donation today on the stream. I really do appreciate it. Everybody have a wonderful, fantastic Sunday. If I don't come back later this afternoon, I definitely will be back at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. Everybody have an amazing Sunday. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.